get this question all the time. How do I scale past 10k per month? And when most people say you just gotta do more volume, or change the subject line so you'll get more opens, or change your agency model to something that is more trending, my first answer is stop doing outreaches, stop doing sales calls, and stop wasting your time fulfilling your clients. Instead of doing shitty outreaches with a shitty offer, with a shitty service, I would just stop and take one step back. Then my second answer is build up high leverage systems once that will serve you forever instead of wasting your time on manual tasks that does not move the needle. And you do that through a client acquisition channel that does not require your full attention, a duplicatable fulfillment process, and a very competitive offer. And once I had those three things, it became surprisingly easy to scale. Let me explain. I was that kid always on YouTube trying to figure out what the next side hustle will be and how to make money online, never listening to the teacher. Because I knew deep down that there were other ways than going to college, getting a degree, and getting stuck in the 9 to 5, which is obviously a huge scam. You'll just get stuck with little to no chance of getting out. In my high school years, I bought a Danish course in SMMA because I wanted to break free from the matrix. And from I bought it, I instantly knew that this was going to make me a millionaire within no time. And again, as you know, it is not that simple, because when you start from the bottom, you have no skills and you are worth nothing in business. The hard truth was that nobody wanted to hire me, not even if I offered to work for free. And now thinking back, I would not even have hired myself, because I knew nothing about anything, especially when I planned to charge my clients anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 per month, which is so stupid now that I think about it. I had no clients and I got no clients. So I reached out to anyone on the internet who was doing better than I was, and I saw a common theme. Everyone said that it was all about consistency. Keep going, and some other vanilla fluffy bullshit that I had already heard 1,000 times before, but in reality what they said was true. Another guy called Alex Omosi, whom is probably not a stranger to you either, said that it was all about volume, because volume negates luck. I think he gave a specific example for back when he was starting a new gym and had issues filling it up. He was then told to deliver flyers by one of his mentors, but he did not see any success with it. And when he met his mentor again a few months later and the mentor asked how the flyers went, Alex said, "Well, not really that good." "How many did you do?" 300. "Dude, we do 5,000 only as a test, and then we do 5,000 per day." The point of that is that no matter how bad your outreaches are, if you reach out to enough people, you will book meetings, because there will be some person out there who will give you a chance, even though you're maybe not worth what you're trying to offer yet. So that was what I did. I committed to making 100 voice messages on Instagram per day and 20 looms per day, and even though the outreaches were terrible, it still negated the luck, because I closed my first 5 clients in the span of almost 2 months, paying me anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per month each. And I was beyond happy, because I could actually not afford my rent before. I'm serious. So I kept the consistency, kept on sending out outreaches, closed more clients, and made anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000 per month, which was more than my parents and my friends' parents made, and I really felt like the big shot. But there was a backside of the story. I worked 16-hour days, had a terrible diet, did not work out, and did not socialize at all. I was stressed out of my brain, because the outreaches that I had to do in order to keep on scaling took anywhere from 6 to 7 hours alone every single day. Besides that, I had to fulfill my current clients that I did not deliver any good results to, because there was absolutely no focus on them. I was all over the place, because when I had no clients, I had to do outreaches, and then when I got clients in compensation for my hard work, I had no time to do outreaches anymore. So I was at this place where there were no light at the end of the tunnel, and I remember just laying in bed snoozing almost 1 hour before I could get myself out of the bed and get to work every morning. There was no way that I could keep doing what I was doing and scale past 10, 20 and 30k per month. So I reached out to literally anyone who was making more money than me in the agency and asked them for advice. And it was not until 2 months of networking I fell over one guy called Robert that were a part of an agency doing almost $1 million per month at the time. And he was kind enough to help a young kid out. Let's jump on a call, got 30 minutes, let's see what you got. So I jumped on a call with him, I just let it all out. I told him everything, all of my frustrations, and explained how it was impossible for me to scale over 20, 30, 40k per month if I kept doing what I was doing. And Robert called me off after 2 minutes of whining, because he instantly knew what was wrong and he did not want to waste any time. So what I'm understanding, August, is that you're trying to scale past 20, 30 and 50k per month, right? Yeah. And do you see how you can keep doing what you're doing right now and scale past 20, 30 and 50k per month? Not really. So obviously we need to change something, right? What was the goal when you initially started the agency? And thinking about this question for 10 or 20 seconds before answering, I started it because I want to never worry about money ever again. I want to be able to travel, I want to take care of my family, I want to drive a Porsche, I want a big home. And Robert said, so you started it because you want freedom. Yeah. So don't you think that you should start working on managing your time better and putting systems in place and hire people to do the things that is not worth your time so you can actually focus on moving the business forward? And even though it was obvious, I was completely blind to the fact that I had to hire people in order to scale. And I said, yeah, but I cannot afford to hire anyone right now. I was only making $7,000 per month profit. And he smiled to me and said, cannot or will not. He meant that I should hire people overseas who cost less than the Western society does. And it was when I realized that in order to move 2 steps forward, I had to go 1 step back. Before hiring, I had 98% profit margins, and I was still too cheap to cut in the margins. Robert said, you need to change other things as well if you really want to scale. You need to increase pricing a lot, which will change once you change your offer, and then we need to put an acquisition channel in place that does not require your full attention. And once you have that, my friends, you'll be able to scale consistently. And do you want to hear the best part? And almost drooling to hear it, I was like, please tell me. The more automated your business becomes, the easier it is to scale and the less you have to work. And you'll make much more money because your only job becomes to manage your employees and build systems. And that 30-minute call completely changed my life and perception of business. Throughout this whole time, I was taking more and more time out of my day to work on things that did not move the needle. Instead, I should just set up systems I can set up once and then it will serve me forever. It is impossible to scale without it, so leveraging automation and hiring is one of the most important parts about running a business. And the scary part is that no one really talks about it. One thing was to know what you need to do, another thing is to take action. So after the call, I immediately started to rethink the way that I ran Magna.io, which is my email marketing agency, and started to build out a blueprint for getting my time back. But instead of wasting years failing until I got this right, I wanted to get results fast, so I paid Robert and his team $15,450 to help me build out this from the ground to the top. We built an acquisition channel that can send thousands of personal outreaches every day on autopilot. We built out a new offer so we can stand out and could charge anywhere from 3 to 5k per month for my service. We productized my service so it was very easy for us to fulfill on and we could deliver better results. And long story short, after talking to Robert, it took 1 week before I closed a high-ticket client on $2,000 per month. And less than 2 years later, we are at the point in my agency where I have a fast-growing team and we have built up systems and processes that has made us able to scale to almost $50,000 per month. I live in Marbella, I can do what I want whenever I want to and pretty much work 1 to 2 hours a day if I wanted to and still scale my agency month by month because we have built an automatic client acquisition channel that books meetings on my calendar every day on autopilot. I have an amazing team that can work without me. It was only once I really understood the point of using leverage, which was using other people's time and understanding how to position yourself in a blue ocean, which means that you're separating yourself from your competition, not by changing your offer, but by changing the perception of what you're offering. If you are at the point where you're not really making much, I would still have one focus, which is automation, and that consists of finding smarter ways to get output for less input. You do that through softwares, hiring, and in general finding better ways to do things. A lot of entrepreneurs like myself get trapped in an invisible prison, so even though most of you in reality are working hard on your business to get freedom, 90% of you will always be a one-man army. And that is even worse than a 9 to 5, because you will probably work more than a full-time job and even on the weekends, constantly stressed and putting out fires in your business. You need a team, you need to streamline your fulfillment, you need an automatic acquisition channel so you can close clients predictably, and you probably need a better offer. And after that, it will become easy because systems builds predictability. Once you know how many outreaches you need to book one meeting, you can also predict how many book meetings you need to close one client. It is then quick math to set a goal and then reverse engineer how many clients you need to close in order to hit that goal, and then you will start thinking different. So ask yourself if you're truly focusing on the things that moves the needle, or you're just wasting time doing shit that you in reality can outsource. Are you doing lead generation yourself? Are you manually doing outreaches? Are you doing all the fulfillment yourself? Are you on sales calls all day? If you're working in the business instead of on the business, you're probably doing something wrong if you actually want to grow, which I guess most people want. And when that epiphany happened for me, it made it easy for me to scale my agency. It was a tough process that took me almost 3 years to achieve, but it didn't make me any poorer. Like and subscribe for more value.